Okay, hello. We're gonna start a reading vlog, which, as promised, I did start God of Malice, and so far I'm surprisingly into it. Like, is the content really messed up? Yes, but somehow I'm into it because it's fictional. In real life, this is a whole lot of note, but in book world, it's like whatevs, I guess. So, anyways, yeah, I'm surprisingly into this. Reading it faster than expected. I think I'm 170 pages in so far. Yes, so far thoughts have been that our girl Glendon, which I do not like that name, but you know, I didn't name this child. So she really needs some mace. She needs some mace or something. But also she's like weirdly into killing and shit, and just like these dudes are foul. These are definitely not the dudes to be hanging around. But they also like can't really get away from it because that's just how it is. Like they're all rich. There's a bunch of rich people with a lot of money doing a lot of stupid shit, but that's the circles they run in. So there really are just not a lot of normal people at the school. Which also, the part I don't understand is why is there an English university right next door to an American university, just like chilling on an island together in the UK? Like, the logistics of this don't make sense to me. And like, why is one a mafia school? So, I mean, I don't understand quite the setup, but yeah. So we've got the American is the psychopath, but there's also British psychopaths in this, so whatever. It's interesting. And so far some of these dudes are just like characters. Like I can't even take them seriously because they're so ridiculous. So yeah, I don't know. Some of their friends are just like actual cartoon character people, like Remy or whatever, going around calling himself his lordship. Like, bro, settle down. Settle down. Nobody, I don't think this is the circle where people are actually impressed by that. Because everybody in this circle is already rich. They have their own power stuff going on. They're doing all kinds of stuff. So I'm just like, nobody, I don't think this is a circle of people are that impressed by this. So it's kind of funny and kind of ridiculous, but yeah, it's interesting to see like her family dynamics. It's really sad for Glendon that she like can't really talk to her family about what's going on, and that she can't like she doesn't feel like she can really kind of lean on her own family, which is sad, but you know, it happens. So I guess it's kind of obvious how she ends up in this situation. Well, not necessarily, but like of how I can kind of see how it would develop with Killian, because she already has like psychopaths and sociopaths and whatever in her own family. So she's already kind of used to that personality type. And so I kind of see like how it's developing there, because you know, it ain't her first rodeo, so to speak. So we'll just see how this continues. So far, I'm intrigued and I'm still interested in it, and we're just gonna keep seeing how it goes. But yeah, this dude's very controlling, and she's like low key into it. So, anyways, interesting. Yeah, that's basically all that I've read so far. I haven't continued with Foundry Side yet, but I am hoping to wrap that up pretty soon. So we'll see from there. Because yeah, I'm still only like 70 pages into this, so we have some continuing to do. I would like to finish this pretty soon, especially because I would like to turn it into the library, but hopefully next update something about Foundry Side. But anyways, that's where we're at, and that is where we will go from fantasy to dark romance. It's just a full spectrum here. So anyways, that's what it is. Let's see. Okay, so an update. I am now halfway through Foundry Side, and this book, like, how to explain it? It's like kind of like well, yeah, it's like a job gone sideways. So our main character, Sanchez, she is a thief, and so she steals something like normal, and it ends up going sideways because she ends up digging into stuff that she normally wouldn't, and it turns out not great for her so far. Our main character, she is a thief, right? So I don't remember what even made her like dig into it, but like that's why you got the key on here. So her ability is that she can touch stuff and then kind of like talk to it or whatever, because she has like a plate in her head that has their like magic sigils. That's how all the magic in this works. And so the key that she has though is from like a more powerful set of magic that they don't really know too much about anymore. Like it's from ancient times, like I think it's from like the gods basically. So there's she ends up talking to the key because of the plate in her head, so she can hear it talking, and the key can open anything, anything. So, and it like has abilities and stuff, kind of. So she ends up getting attached to this key, and then it goes on this whole thing because this is not like a normal thieving type job. They were paying her a lot for it, and it is worth a lot, and so everybody's trying to kill them because this is like magic that would basically destroy their current magic system and just like completely change everything. And so it's like world changing stuff. So it's turned into this whole thing of like, you know, trying to get away from all these other groups and stuff that are trying to kill them, and everybody's finding out that like everybody's been lying to each other about what they even know about the magic systems and all that kind of stuff. So like, yeah, everybody's been playing it safe up front, and they're doing all kinds of messed up stuff in the background. And like her backstory's messed up. I read that part pretty much like halfway through is when they told us her backstory, and that's messed up. It is messed up stuff, but yeah, it's pretty action paced. Action packed. It's pretty action packed, but it does go back and forth a lot with every little gadget gets explained of like how it works, because basically the way the magic works is like it's like, how to explain? It's like regular science, but then alter it a little bit to make it do something else. Like one of the if they're constructing something, then they'll tell the wood to be more like iron or something, like stronger. They'll tell it just be stronger. Like it's just like they kind of use it more to enhance stuff, really. Or like the carriages don't need horses because they tell the wheels that they're on an incline even though they're not. So they can like trick things into doing things that defy regular logic, but at the same time the system's kind of logical. So anyways, yeah, there's a lot of explanation of the system because basically the system could be overhauled with everything that they're finding out in this book. But yeah, so I'm halfway through. I feel kind of like it's giving 3 stars for me right now, just because I don't think we necessarily need everything explained so much. Like it kind of goes into more detail than we need at times. Like we get the gist of how it works, so you know, unless it's doing something different, we don't necessarily need that, especially because it like breaks up the action parts. Like if they're fighting and stuff, like I just want to imagine the cool shit that's going on instead of going on a whole side tangent that's like the textbook of, it's like reading the user manual of how the item works, which like has like cool science stuff, but it's like, I don't know, like during the fight scenes it makes it weird. So but the key has quite the personality, I would say. Clef, his name's Clef, and yeah, Clef has a personality, like for being an object. It's kind of funny, but so yeah, him and Sanjay have like an interesting relationship, just because, you know, how often do you meet a talking key? Like she can kind of like communicate with things, but it's not to that level of like where like the key is straight talking to her like a person. So, it's very interesting that, but yeah, I've got like halfway to go, so we'll see because so far she's like having to basically team up with people she normally wouldn't have to team up with. She normally stays on her side, on the poor side of town. She's normally not messing around with these rich people unless she's stealing from them. So, things are getting more complicated. She's now associating with people she doesn't normally associate with. It's just an interesting time, so we'll see what happens. But so far, it's been a lot of action. So, anyways, that's that. Alrighty, so time for an update. I finished Foundry Side. Really was it like 2 days ago now? But I stayed up late to finish reading it, and because I wanted to finish it in April, so I finished it like right before it became May. We did that thing. But I ended up liking this so much more in the like second half, or especially the last like 150 pages, when all the shit that you've been learning kind of like starts to pay off. Like, you had to hang in there for that. But I'm kind of glad I did. And I actually put the second book on hold already. So I actually like so many people that are in the buddy read hated this because they think it's like they feel like it's over explained, and in some places I feel like we could have done without it. Like, that's a valid criticism, but that's really like the only issue I had with this, because the rest of it is like it's pretty action packed, I would say. Like, a lot of stuff's actually happening in this book. There's a lot of running around, uncovering like larger things that are happening. Like, the things that they're fucking around with can absolutely change their entire world. And so that's pretty exciting to me. So I don't know, like, I'm into it, and the setup for it is just like, oh, there's more happening in the background, because of course, like, all the rich people, the merchant house people, that like have their whole little campo areas or whatever, they have like their whole little area of the city basically. It's just like they're all lying to each other, obviously. They're all lying to each other, and like there's so much like backstabbing and shit going on, which it was anticipated because that's how rich people be rolling in general, let's be for real. So anyways, there's a lot of backstabbing going on, and it's great. I'm here for it. Like, did we just some intense shit happened at the end, and I'm waiting to see what the hell happens with that, because based on just how this book ended and everything that happened at the end, I'm so ready. I'm so ready to continue the series and see what the hell's going on. So yeah. If you can get past the like the over explaining of things, then it's a fun time actually. So yeah, yeah. I get why people DNF'd early on though, because yeah, you do have to like absorb a lot of world building type stuff and explaining in order to understand like the whole setup of like how this world can crumble in a few moves basically. So it's very interesting to me, because like the magic system is like really based in science, but then it's like magic that can break all that science. So yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but like it's like, how do I even explain it? Because it's like they're finding out more and more, and obviously people have been keeping secrets about what they know about the magic. And so the really powerful magic is stuff that used to exist, and then they like lost all information about it, or like couldn't figure it out, except a lot of people have kind of sort of figured some stuff out. And then we have like an evil genius, and then we have like other like just people keeping all kinds of secrets, and more secrets are going to come out, and I can't wait. So yeah, my library hold is ready, and I have to go pick up the second one, which I think is Shoreside or something like that, something with an S. But I'll be picking that up and reading that one ASAP, because I need to know. I need to know. The way this one ended, I need to know. So, yeah, I actually really like this. So, my return to fantasy is doing me good. But, yeah. So, we'll see. Hopefully next time I will have more updates on God of Malice. Like, kind of dropped off with that for a minute because I need to finish that one. But, we're going to come back to that. But I think I'm reading that one without an audiobook, so it's gonna obviously slower. So I think my next audiobook, like tandem read, immersive reading, whatever the fuck we're calling it, I think the next one that I'm gonna read with an audiobook is gonna be These Violent Delights. I did not put this on my TBR, but it's been sitting on my desk for a long time, and I have the audiobook, and I just want to read this already. So we're gonna see if this is any good. Yeah, I don't think I've read anything by Chloe Gong yet, but I know that she's like a popular author, and so I need to know if this is any good. So I don't actually know anything about this, other than I think it's like a fantasy China or something. Yeah, apparently it's set in Shanghai, but it's supposed to be like a fantasy magical Shanghai, I think. At least this is what the first line is saying. So we're gonna see. But anyways, there you go. Oh, but also before I sign off here for a minute, I'm getting my nails done tomorrow. So let's see if they can do what I want. I'm gonna get some nail art again, cause hot pink was fun for a minute, but I'm a nail art girl. So let's go. We're gonna go get our nails done tomorrow. It's gonna be exciting. Okay, bye. Alrighty, so update for God of Malice. I read a lot more last night, and just like this book did not need to be as long as it is, I think, because now we're getting to a part where Glendon is kind of getting on my nerves. Like, you already know what you're doing here. You already like don't want to be like to like have Killing and messing with any other girls and stuff. Like, why are you still playing around? She wants to be exclusive, but she's not willing to admit that she wants to be exclusive. Like, girl. Honestly, at this point, it's just kind of like, but why are you lying to yourself? So, I don't know. Yeah, so I think some of that could have been cut down a little bit. We didn't need all of this shit from Glendon, honestly. But I'm still interested in it. There's still some stuff that needs to get resolved by the end. That kind of like it's kind of outside of the romance part. There's like somebody sending her weird text messages, and like this was happening at the beginning of the book, and then kind of hasn't happened for a while. But I'm pretty sure, like something with that still has to happen. Like I'm waiting for that to happen. So yeah, I think I have like where am I? I'm on page 367. So we're getting close. This is about like a 500-page book. I don't know, but anyways, so far I'm into it. I'm so into it. In fact, or at least I was before Glenn started doing this shit. That I went to the bookstore and picked up the next one. A little book haul here. I went to the romance bookstore. How I be doing? So this is what I got. Okay, so let's redo the whole part because it turns out my mic was not on. So anyways, when I went to the bookstore, I grabbed the next two books in the Legacy of God series since I was liking the first one. So I have God of Pain here, which this one is Creighton, which I'm guessing is how you say his name, and Annika, which we'll see because Annika kind of gets on my nerves, but I was checking the reviews for this one and it has higher reviews than the first one, so we'll see. We'll see. Because Annika is one of those like overly bubbly people that doesn't know when to shut up. So we're gonna see. But anyways, we have that one. And then for God of Wrath, the third one, this one is Cecily and Jeremy, which is a very interesting combination if you're asking me. I mean, I knew Cecily was going to be in here somewhere probably, but I did not expect her to get with the leader. So we're going to find out how that happens. Because I thought she was supposed to be the sane one. None of these girls are fully sane. Anyways. And then I also picked up The Veiled Kingdom. I've heard a lot of people like Holly Renee's books. Not necessarily the second one in this series, but everybody really liked the first one. So I'm interested to see. And I'm not sure if this is an ongoing series or not. I also know there's a pink cover, but I think that might be a Barnes& and Noble exclusive. But whatever. So anyways, I have this one. We're just gonna test it out and see how it goes. So this is back in my fantasy romance stuff. The rest of them are not. But I also picked up Destructively Mine. I have the first one in this series. Have I read it? No. It's on my Kindle. And so, I need to read that. But this one, like, look at this cover. It was too good to pass up. And the premise just sounds so messy. It sounds so messy, and we're here for that. But this is also contemporary, so let's see. It's the daughter of a con artist, Phoebe Graves, only knew a life of swindling the rich until her best friend and fellow grifter, Haley Tinrock, proposed the idea to start a new, honest life in a wealthy college town of Connecticut. Once there, they decide to leave behind their deceitful tricks and be truthful for once, but you know what they say about good intentions. And then it says Phoebe is fake dating Jake Waterford. Let's see. So she's dating somebody else while fake dating somebody else. Messy. Messy, and I'm here for it. The web makes sense. Let's see. Oh, and then her mom shows up. Messy. Yes, this sounds very messy, and I'm very much here for that. If I'm gonna read contemporary, that's the kind of shit I want to know about. So anyways, that one sounds dramatic. And I'm here for it. So those are the books I picked up. And I also picked up this sticker. Up to 24-hour reading, bookish fuel. Warning, may cause book hangovers. I thought that was cute. So it's very much my aesthetic, this little sticker. So anyways, that's the haul. That's what I got. And yeah, we'll see when I get to those. I think obviously I'm going to be continuing on with this series pretty quickly. So that's that. Okay, so we swerved because I waited for months for the audiobook for this, and I finally got it. So I decided it was time. Like I can't miss this opportunity to read this. So anyways, I am about not quite a third of the way, but so far it was kind of slow going at first. Like I got 100 pages in and then realized that I didn't know what the plot was. But it came at like chapter 13. Now stuff is happening, but the beginning was a lot of setup. But I didn't hate it because like the characters are kind of interesting. So our main character, what is this man's name? Joran or something like that. He was the shipwife of the Tide Child, which is the name of their boat, which like it's like a pirate boat, but not really. It's a death boat. I'm not entirely sure what that really means, other than like apparently if you do crimes they'll send you to the black ships, which I guess everybody knows that you're a criminal if you're on that boat. I don't really follow all the specifics to be honest, but this dude, he was kind of the shipwife is the captain basically, and he was not a good captain. He was spending all the money on getting drunk. It seems like the whole crew was. And so, yeah, no surprise, somebody came in and swooped that position right up because how hard is it to take it from a drunk dude? And then, yeah, she like demoted him on his own ship because now he's just like the deckhand, which is like the one underneath her. Now he's like the right-hand man instead of the captain. And I thought that shit was hilarious. So, yeah, the lady just swooped in and said, nope, I'm taking that hat. I'm in charge now. And she's in charge now. Everybody listens to her. She's kind of a badass. And then he's just kind of like herb derp. This man is so herb derp. But anyways, basically yeah, the bone ships, because they're made out of bones of like sea dragons. Basically, these ships are like literally there's bones. There's bones and there's like magic creatures. And the water's a scary place. I mean, the ocean already is, but they have like some intense like magical creatures and stuff in the water here. So and they're at war with a whole like, I don't know why they're fighting. That part is not that clear yet to me, at least. But it doesn't seem like it's clear to the main character either. He's like, yeah, I mean, this is just what we do. We just fight these other people. Bro, he doesn't. It seems like the conflict's been going on so long that people just don't even remember why it started, is what I'm gathering. So, anyways, they're in the war, and, but it's like, what is it, the Thousand Isles, I think? So it's like, there's a bunch of little islands. So there's a bunch of boats fighting, stealing kids. They're stealing kids. So there's just like a lot of stuff going on. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on, and there was a lot of setup at the beginning that was a little bit confusing because you have to use the glossary, because the glossary in the back of the book, and I didn't realize until I was already like a bit of the way in, and then I saw it last night. So yeah, definitely look at the glossary. It's very much needed. So I'm glad I have a physical copy because, yeah, once I looked at that and read a little bit of it, I was like, oh, some stuff makes more sense now. So, if you're reading this, definitely look at the glossary. But yeah, this is written, the way it's written really puts you in the setting of like that old timey vibe of like pirate boats, except I guess they're not really pirates. I keep calling them pirates, but they're not really pirates, I guess. But they're all on boats, right? So, and fighting. There's fighting, people are dying, stuff is happening, so it still feels piratey if you're asking me. But anyway, so yeah, they're fighting on ships and there's magical sea dragons and stuff. And we're finally getting I'm finally to the part where there's a plot. Yeah, chapter 13, which was like 100. Yeah, let's see. The plot really kind of started at page 113. So, just stick with it, but I don't know, the characters are kind of interesting, so. Anyways, yeah, now we're at the part where the plot is plotting and things are happening, and so I'm kind of excited to see how it continues from here, but that's where we're at. Yeah, and it's written old-timey, so, there's no, like, you're not gonna catch modern lingo in this. Like, it's full vibes, full on. Like, yeah. Which is also part of why you need the glossary. So anyways, I'm gonna read some more of this and then we'll update later. Okay, so update for the bone ships. I've made significantly more progress yesterday and I'm hoping to finish it today. But anyways, so I got to the section where the plot is actually starting. And so, I would say it's still kind of like the actual plot is kind of a little bit weak. Like, it does kind of set things in motion, but I feel like it's more of the side stuff that we're here for, like all the side plots. So, I mean, I guess they all kind of feed in, but like the side stuff I'm finding more interesting than the main plot. So the main plot is like they're gonna go deal with the sea dragon. They're all hunting the sea dragon. Everybody found out about it. There's not a lot left. They're basically hunting them to extinction, and they're using their bones for their boats. So anyways, that's like the main plot, but then the side stuff that's going on is like people on the boat are being betrayed, and there's like spies on board, and there's you know everybody's a criminal, so there's a lot of guessing of what the hell this person did or that person did, and then and then and then Joran, the main character, he's having like a lot of growth, I guess, as a character, because he went from like a drunk idiot that doesn't just like everything's going over his head, he don't know what his head from his ass, to like trying to actually have some authority and trying to actually boss people around. And so he's been growing a lot in that regard, which has been interesting to watch, to see like, I mean, she's having the shipwife's having to coach him a lot on how to do that, but he's responding well, and he's growing a lot in this book. But like the creatures in this book are nightmare fuel, honestly, because I looked up a picture of what is it, the wind talker, I can't even say like the real name of it, like I'm gonna butcher that pronunciation even though I was listening to the audiobook, but that creature that does the wind magic to make the sails full and for them to take off, that creature sounds a little creepy. He's a little creepy. I looked up a picture of him. Yeah, he's like a bony bird thing, but he talks. he talks and he says this man's name every damn time. Joran Twina. In the freaking audiobook, it's always Joran Twina. It sounds crazy. But anyway, so every single time, like, he's attached to this man, he's saying his name all the time. But he doesn't have his own name. They just call him by his species or whatever. It's like if I just call my cat's cat and be like, "Hey cat, come here." I'm like, "Bro, he can talk. He is sentient. He needs a name." So anyways, I hope he gets a name, and I'm like more, even though he's creepy, I'm like, he sounds almost more human than some of the humans in this book sometimes. So I'm like, I need him to, one, survive, and two, get a name. Name him. They have some kind of weird thing about, like, the people of this ship, particularly the shipwife is like, "Yeah, didn't y'all name this creature?" And then they're like, "No, oh no, we don't want anything to do with this. We didn't name it." But that was like about something else, and I'm like, they just, like, what do you mean you don't be naming stuff? Name him. He needs a name. So anyways, that's where we're at. So far I'm kind of thinking 3 stars. Like, it's entertaining, but it's not like the best thing I've ever read. Like, I don't feel the pull of the plot as much as I do in other books. So, I mean, it's more, I feel almost like I'm reading a slice of life, but except there's more action than you would read in a slice of life. I don't know. I mean, they're not pirates. They're not pirates. But there basically is some pirate-ish activity going on the boat. So, anyways, yeah. This is the kind of stuff I like to read in summertime, I guess. People doing shit on boats. Anyways, and on the ocean. So that's the update. We're gonna finish it today and see how it goes. Alright, so I just woke up, so, there's my beautiful pimple patch. But anyways, I finished the Bone Ships. Not yesterday, the other day. But anyways, this I gave 3 stars because I just am not that invested in the main plot as I was hoping to be. But, I feel like I'm just not quite maybe the right person for this kind of thing, because the end, it was very, like, detailed fighting on boats, and I don't know boat lingo, so some of these details were lost on me, and I was not about to be Googling them over and over and over. I just didn't feel like it. So, if you know shit about boats, that part will probably make more sense to you, and you'll probably be more invested than I was. But, it's not a bad book, and I do have the next 2 on my Kindle, so I might continue on, but I think I might not read it with the audiobook for the next ones, because I think kind of the way the accent was kind of made it hard to follow too sometimes. Because that dude was just really going for it. He was really going for it. And then at the very end, what gets me the most is that, like, this wasn't like a specific accent or like a bunch of accents. And then when you get to the end, this man has like an American accent. And I was just like, well, that explains so much, because I feel like the accent was kind of all over the place. Like, sometimes it was heavier, sometimes it was less. And then, like, I don't know, I could, like, it was a little bit distracting, because I was like, I can tell that he was not, like, switching back and forth cleanly and stuff like that. So there was, like, kind of a little bit of issues. I mean, it is kind of fun to listen to the audiobook in parts, because people be ridiculous in this book sometimes. There was some definitely funny moments in this that I was into. Like, the way they talk to each other is, like, kind of hilarious sometimes. It's just, Jordan, our main character guy in this, he is kind of a dumbass. At least at the beginning, okay? And so some of the shit he does was just funny to me. So anyways, yeah, I'm kind of more into this for some of the side stuff, and just for, like, the characters, and for the Gleam, I believe is how you say it. The, their little homie making the magic that makes the wind blow into the sails. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm more into this for that side of things, more so than the main plot, which the main plot is very straightforward, really, but I don't know, I'm just like, to me it's summarized as, and then they fought. But, there's still some interesting stuff that happened along the way, and the end of this was kind of intense. So, we'll see. We'll see if I just read it physically and not with an audiobook, if that kind of fixes the next one for me. because yeah, it was just, I find it, it was a little bit hard for me to keep up at the end there. But that's kind of more of a me thing. It's by no means a bad book, so you know, if you can follow along better than I did, you'll probably give it a high rating than I did, at least at the end. But yeah, this book was also just kind of slow in the beginning to even get to what the hell the plot is. Which, you know, nothing technically wrong with that. Hello, Amethyst is with me now for this update. Stop being a bad baby, Amethyst. So anyways, that is this, and I think I will continue the series, but there you go. So then, that one's done. I read more. Got Malice last night, and I'm gonna try to finish this today because I only have 100 pages left to go. But this book, yeah, this book is still just longer than it needs to be, and we have not wrapped up certain things, and I'm just like, come on. Like, I feel like this book could have been maybe like 50 to 100 pages shorter if we just cut down on some of the like pointless back and forth part where like Glyndon's over here not wanting to admit that that's her boyfriend, basically. Like, girl, it's ridiculous. Like, Glyndon is getting on my nerves. She's getting on my nerves. But other than that, you know, we're finally getting past that part, so it's getting more interesting again. But that part kind of, you know, is kind of why I'm not done yet, because that part kind of slowed me down. Wasn't into it as much, but yeah. Also, I have to say that Killian needs to chill the fuck out, because he is always threatening to hurt people. I'm like, and if you keep doing it and you keep threatening it, I'm like, it doesn't hold any weight anymore, dude. Like, no, I don't take him seriously anymore. Do I know that he is like a serial killer in his own mind and wants to be one, basically, in reality? Yes, but I don't take it as seriously anymore, because he's always threatening to hurt somebody, and when you're always doing it, it's just like, okay, bro, shut up, just shut up. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at with this. So, you know, we're gonna finish it off hopefully today, because the vlog needs to go up tomorrow. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm at, where like, you know, they had me in the first half, and then toward the end it got kind of slow and kind of ridiculous. So we'll see. I have no idea what I'm gonna rate this right now. Somewhere between a 3 and a 4. Don't know. It's definitely not a 5. Definitely not a 5, because there is some stupidity in this, which is expected, I guess, because they're in college. College age stupidity. But anyways, yeah, that's that. Alrighty, so I have finished God of Malice. I literally just finished it, and I gave it 3.5 because the ending finally answered the questions that I was asking since like forever ago. The stuff that was set up in the beginning that they didn't really address that much in the middle, it finally came to the end and wrapped up satisfyingly. But I still feel like this book could have been shorter. It could have either been shorter, or we could have put in a little bit more of that stuff that was going on the side, because that was honestly like, it could have been beefed up more, made it even more interesting. So anyways, yeah, 3.5, because Glyndon was kind of getting on my nerves there in the middle, but it all worked out at the end. You know, I didn't hate it, but yeah, I definitely like the first half more than the second half, I think. It's one of those. But it's interesting. It's interesting at the end that you get so many POVs of like her parents and his parents. Was it his parents? Well, it's definitely her parents. You definitely got both of her parents in this, their POVs at the end, which I'm so glad that there was a chart in the beginning of like who is who, because I was just like, who is this? There's so many characters in the book, like it's like, you know, because their whole families are involved, and I think this is technically like a series based off of another series, and like, so if you read that, then you would probably know who those characters are already. So we'll see. I haven't looked that far into it yet, but I think it's connected. I want to say a lot of books by this author are all connected, like in the same ish universe at least. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes from there. But so far, honestly, like the beginning was really dark, and then after that, I don't know. Like this was not kind of as dark as I thought it was gonna be. Like the beginning was. The beginning definitely was, but then after that, like it kind of mellowed out more, and it was just kind of more violent. So it's just that's more normal here, I guess. So, you know, it was kind of more like not necessarily an action movie, but you definitely get more of the vibe that they're like in the mafia and mafia associated or whatever, like kids of mafia and stuff like that. So, but their moms are like surprisingly chill for all these people being involved in like crime and stuff. The dads are the ones that are all like violent and blah blah blah, and the moms are like whatever, chilling. So, yeah. Anyways, Clinton. Clinton has bad taste in people. Like her friend group is basically just like the kids of her parents, and her parents clearly are better at picking like decent friends that are more loyal and stuff because when girl was left her home devices, she made bad choices. Bad choices. But anyway, so yeah, Clinton's not my favorite MC. I wouldn't say Killian's my favorite male lead either, but you know, for dark romance, it was not bad. So yeah, I'll be continuing, and there you go. That's the end of the vlog because I need to put this up tomorrow, and then we'll see which one I pick up next time. I have a lot of audiobooks ready, so we'll see next time.